think overall. There's something I want to watch, and that is not SNL. Okay, the thing I wanted to watch was have you guys seen the Gen Z videos? Here, I'll just start off with this one. But like I've been meaning to watch the Gen Z's looking old videos for a while now to just read the Gen Z to filth. Because I've been, it's exciting. It's like exciting moments for me. Turns out like Gen Z are aging not so
So many
gracefully.
benefits of going barefoot outside, and we want to take advantage to each and every one of these. Of course, there's going to be people that think it's kind of crazy and look at us weird, but the benefits are totally worth it. One thing it definitely does is it grounds us. We feel connected to nature. Going barefoot can actually help you gain a greater appreciation for the natural world. And we've definitely noticed that even in the short time we've done it. This year I really wanted to start getting into yoga, and this is actually a form of foot yoga. The resistance and inconsistency nature offers integrates reflexes in the foot and forms strong arches, which is really important to us. We've both noticed that our posture has improved and our stress has reduced. I know you're probably thinking that's gross, we're gonna get sick from doing this, but barefoot walking can actually have many positive effects on your immune system. It can help reduce white blood cells and help fight off sicknesses while building a stronger immunity. It also naturally helps with copper and iron levels. We like to think of it like a cold plunge for our feet. Especially where we are in the winter, it's super cold here and there's a lot of snow, but there's plenty of places like this fireplace to warm up when we need to. We know this is definitely common in Ohio, but let us know if this is something you do too. White blood cells and help fight off sicknesses while building a stronger immunity. It also naturally helps with copper and iron levels. We like to think of it like a cold plunge.
So was it white people wear their shoes inside and walk around barefoot outside, shaking my head? Yeah.
For our feet. Especially where we are in the winter, it's super cold here and there's a lot of snow, but there's plenty of places like this fireplace to warm up when we need to. We know this is definitely common in Ohio, but let us know if this is something.
It's a lie, right? Like at the end, she's just lying, right? I've never been to Ohio, and I will never go to Ohio. So I like, please don't lie to me. It's just satire, I think, right? Nature, concrete, and grocery stores. Okay. Do you guys have what is this top 5 mewing? What the fuck? Do you know the Gen Z videos? Have you seen the 2 different Gen Z videos?
Dear Jordan, your dad is a great.
Okay, here, this is.
Apparently, Gen Z is like aging really rapidly.
It is mainly because of the stress. Come here. We live in a time nowadays where millennials look way younger for their age, while Gen Z looks way older for their age. If you don't believe me, I'm Gen Z. Get closer. I am Gen Z and nobody ever believes me. When my mom and I walk out in public, people think that my mom is my younger sister. Right? When I tell people, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my family, they think I'm talking about my children. I don't have kids, right? I'm talking about my parents. I'm still the child. Does that make sense? I'll put it to you like this. Zendaya is older than me. Tom Holland is older than me. That's
crazy. I mean, I don't believe that. I'm going to be honest.
You know what I'm saying right now? There was one time I wanted an autograph from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? I was standing for hours for this autograph, and when he walked up to me, I said, can you please sign this poster? It's for Jordan, right? He then took it and put, Dear Jordan, your dad is a great guy. He stood out here for hours and then gave it back to me. And before I can correct him, he looked at me and said, times were way more difficult back when we were kids, am I right? And then he tapped my shoulder and left. Dwayne is 52. I am 26. What I'm saying is, so Gen Z definitely looks older. I'm not going to lie to you.
This guy was great in Westworld. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright, dude. Dude, I don't get it. Like, so why is he 26, but so
It has
old.
been quite an interesting couple of days for Jordan. Come here. So a few days ago, I was explaining to everybody how Gen Z is aging rapidly while millennials are looking younger for their age. And I was saying it's because of stress. The best example being, I'm Gen Z. Right, and people don't believe that. How I tell people Zendaya is older than me. My mom gets mistaken as my.
What do you think it is? Because, like, I'm 32, and the reality is, like, I think I look 32, right? It's got to be the beard, right? You look 50. I mean, I am 32 years old, and I think I look like I'm 32 years old. I feel like maybe it's because, like, Gen Z has just been, like, someone in the chat was saying, like, ripping jewels or something. Is that what it is? Like, because they've been ripping jewels for a long time. Is that what it is? You look anywhere from 27 to 40. Wait, what? You think I look 40 years old? Okay, shut the fuck up, chat. Jesus Christ. I'm 21, but people have thought I'm mid to late 20s way before I was even 20. Also, I don't, and I've never smoked. You don't have to skirt around it. It's because of their excessive mewing. You look 30. I think I look 32. I think I look 32 years old. I'm 32 years old, and I think I look my age. If I shave the mustache, then I'll look even younger. But with the weird beard and the white patch you have on the sides, you look 36, 38. Wait, what? Really? When I have the beard, I look 36 or 38. I'm never growing the beard out ever again. What the fuck?
Younger sister, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson thought we were the same age. Dwayne's 52, but what I'm saying is, after that, I didn't think much of it until a very popular page called The Shade Room was like, hey, can we share your story? And I was like, sure, not a problem. I didn't think much of it until later I saw the title of it, and it was labeled, Gen Z is aging like milk. Come here. It was a lot going on. And then after that, a really popular news show wanted me to be on for an interview to, quote, explain what's going on with this situation. I still have yet to respond to that. There was a few other comments. So these are some of the comments that I thought were very funny when I read it. I heard that I was aging like a pack of saltine crackers.
Aging at the speed of white. Aging at the speed of white, dude. No. You're saying it's literally a one guy moment, but I saw a bunch of other girls too who were like posting up talking about how like someone thought that she was like in her 30s when she's like 22 years old. And I straight up thought she was in her 30s. There's something going on. I don't think like millennials look young by any means. I think millennials just look their age for the most part. But I feel like I don't know. It might be the I stand by this conversation being headed by millennial cope. They don't look younger. They just wish they did, and it's confirmation bias past that. I think so too. But it's the global pedophile elite. No, I think that there isn't. I think it's a makeup maybe, and the way that people carry themselves. It could also be like having access to the internet early on and like following fashion trends, because I feel like that definitely does make like that's a big part of the way you look, like what your output is. So I think that's probably what it is for the most part. It's split into two categories of what's in the water, super pretty, and the other water is the beach that makes you old. Personally, I got the good water. I mean, yeah, it reminds me of this guy, right? I mean, but this guy is like a phenomena though. Like he is. This is a one-off type situation. The 16-year-old that won the dart. He didn't win, but like he was, he was cooking in the dart competition. He's 16, bro. This guy. 16.
To achieve. Yeah, it is. But I think he might be up to it. Well.
That guy is 16. Chat, that's 16. No, not a joke. As someone who has the age check daily at work, they're supposed to be 18 and I asked for ID because they think I might be underage and the ID shows born in 91. Not kidding. Crockpot theory, I think everyone looked at. Gen Z is the newest generation of preteens, teenagers at the start of the pandemic, and during the pandemic time kind of melted. So we all think Gen Z are teens, but some are now late 20s. That could be it. Certainly. There was another one. There was a girl. Do you have the clip of the girl that was like talking about her and her boyfriend walking down the street? Have you guys seen that one? Here's the original TikTok, not a prank, I promise. Oh, this one. Yeah. This is the one.
Tonight I was on live with my boyfriend and someone was like, how old's your girlfriend? And John jokingly responds 47. And the girl comments, oh, I thought she was early 30s. I am 23.
Like, she does not, like, I would not have thought that she's 23 years old. I don't think she looks like early 30s, but she definitely looks like she's like 27, 28. And I think it has a lot to do with hairstyles and also makeup.
TikToks of people talking about how Gen Z looks way older than they actually are. They look old for their age. And I just saw one saying that millennials look young for their age. And it's funny that this is a topic of conversation now because a couple of years ago, probably like 5 years ago, I went to Target with my younger sister. She's Gen Z. She's 10.
Yeah, I think it's 100%. I think it's 100% hairstyle, makeup, and clothes. I think that's a big part of it because you take like I don't know, you take a yeah, we've watched the Vsauce video before. That I mean, I pretty much agree with that entirely. Where you take anyone that, like, you take that girl that we just saw in the TikTok, right?
In Chongqing, sometimes we'll pay.
I was humbled.
You take this girl, different hairstyle, different makeup. I mean, she can look her age. The reason why I wanted to cover it is because
how Gen Z looks so much older than they are, and they don't understand why.
Yes, today.
I don't think Gen Z is aging at a rapid rate. Does that make sense? I don't think Gen Z is aging at a rapid rate. I think it's more so just like hairstyle and maybe smoking.
I want to talk about what appears to be the accelerated aging of Gen Z and Gen Alpha and why I think those things are happening, but I have to disagree with this original creator. I hate to say it, but it isn't because of vapes, because if you look at the stats, people historically have actually used more nicotine products than teenagers in recent years. Here we see nicotine and tobacco stats that the CDC reported in the 90s, which I compiled into a convenient little graph for you to look at. But as you can see, they kind of sat around 30%, and the average vape user for high schoolers is reported at about 25%, which is really sad considering we had downward trends until vaping was invented around this time off of the graph. But overall, if the stats are lower than historical historic years past, we cannot blame the aging directly on increased use when there isn't increased use. There are two things, though, that I think we could tie to the accelerated aging issue, and this is like the death of the pre-tween or the tween years. I remember when I was growing up, the tween years, which roughly fell between like 10 and 13, were huge. Like, we had entire stores dedicated to them. You know, we had Limited 2, which became Justice. We had all those specifically directed towards tween stores that encouraged kids to still kind of remain kids around that time period. Nowadays, there aren't really stores built for tweens, and the ones that we do have remaining are seen kind of as embarrassing if you shop there. And I especially saw this a lot with...
I also think their knowledge makes them seem older. My kids know way more about the world than I did. I think that's the other thing I was going to say, is that because Gen Z is like the first generation to be like born into complete internet access from a super early age, you have just an unlimited amount of information that you can just search at the tip of your fingers. I'll be honest, I didn't know shit when I was like 18, 19, dude. Even then, like, I had internet, but I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I even then, I was like barely coherent, barely cognizant. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Whereas I feel like an 18, 19-year-old now knows so much more than I did back then. There's 18, 19-year-olds here. Saw cartel beheadings at 12 and never looked back. No, we did that shit too, but it's different. Okay? We did that shit too. I fucking watch the top of the hour ad break every day. Yeah, we had live leak. I saw some fucking people playing Russian roulette and, you know, snuff films and things of that nature when I was growing up. But anyway, if you no longer want to see the snuff film that is the top of the hour ad break, by the way, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or free with the Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. That's what pedos say. They seemed older. Though, wait, what? Are you okay? Didn't you argue with this person earlier? Yes. Chill? What the fuck? Telling me to chill. Anyway, what I was trying to say earlier is that we saw weird shit when we were younger too, but it's not about that as much as it is about like the sea of information that you can learn like so quickly. Does that make sense? Like, it's more than just, and disinformation as well. It's more than just about like seeing horrifying videos every now and then and it like aging you. I think it's more so that when you are now you just have so much more information that you're being pumped with on a daily fucking basis. So I don't know.
With the Gen Alpha kids like in my family and the ones that I nannied. Second they start approaching middle school around that like 10 to 11 age, they want Abercrombie, they want Lululemon, they want all of the adult clothes. But I think an even bigger problem on this issue is that all of a sudden society is pressuring new kinds of Botox injectables.
Oh yeah, like preventative Botox. There's Gen Z actors and shit in the gym that I work out at. And they fucking talk about like preventative Botox. They know all the treatments and stuff. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even understand. Like, what the fuck?
and all
The
sorts
fuck
of
is a preventative Botox?
plastic surgery on even younger people than ever before. And because a lot of these procedures are brand new, we don't have a lot of data for how they hold up over time, but I have suspicions that it's not going to go well. And we're already starting to see this in these unedited photos of celebrities that have been coming out who have really been leaning into these surgeries. And a specific one that's become really popular in the last few years is this buccal fat removal. I don't know if I'm saying that.
Okay, I don't think fucking Gen Zers are getting their buccal fat removed. Let's be real. Come on now. I don't think that's going on. Like, they are? No. That's like old people speak. No shot, dude. That's crazy. Y'all are no, but there is a lot of like looks maxing. What is this? Perfect video. It's 20 minutes. I want to watch that. The kids are destroying Sephora.
Has anyone?
Sephora 10-year-olds and the disappearing tweens. Do you say it wrong on purpose? Isn't it buccal fat? Chin liposuction soars among Gen Z. The internet is super fucking brutal. Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe it's like their takes are dated. Maybe it's this is like the classic. When I was in my like early 20s, everything was like millennial this, millennial that. Millennials killed this, millennials killed that. And I feel like that's what's going on for Gen Z now. Anyway, the point I was going to say though is like I think looks maxing is an early, like not an early internet forum thing, but like a looks maxing is a concept where like people, I guess, do stuff to change the way that they look, specifically their facial structure. And it's got concepts like mewing and, you know, which is your tongue placement in your mouth and things of that nature. And I feel like that kind of stuff back in the day was relegated to the darkest corners of the internet, right? That kind of stuff was basically shit that you would only find in like the black pill incel forums, like red pill incel forums, right? And now it is readily available and super accessible on TikTok. And I think that there are a lot of people on TikTok that promote that kind of stuff, that promote like the Patrick Bateman lifestyle and things of that nature. And I feel like a lot of people see that kind of thing online and want to mimic it. It's one, really bad brain rot, and two, that probably ages you a little bit too, I think. Like this guy? Yeah, like that guy. Ew, I look gross. Heroin Chic is also coming back. We're doomed. Now, there's also like a decent amount of good preventative stuff that I see all the time. For example, I see the like the roly stuff that you put on your face, or there's like cool things that you can learn about like actually how to take care of yourself. But then beyond that, like beyond the sunscreen and the lotion, there's a lot of weird shit that is not healthy. Okay? And that's where we're at. I have a roly thing. Yeah, like I don't know what it's called. Or SARMs. Over-the-counter steroids. Like people buying steroids online. So many young Gen Zers, in my opinion, are just straight up doing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I did Jack 3D when I was younger. I think like the FDA, we would take a bunch of fucking weird shit back in the day too. So maybe it's not so different, I guess. But I do know that if I was like 18, 19, I 100% be doing steroids. Like I 1000% would be doing SARMs, like probably. Jack 3D was Shut Up Meth. It was the best. Someone in Discord nailed it. Conversely, millennials are
I think
stuck
millennials are
culture-wise.
experiencing culture in tandem with Gen Z in a way that hasn't really happened before. As much as Gen Z likes to make fun of millennials for like the millennial pause and for, you know, cringy Instagram boomerangs, I think we're actually kind of living identical lives. I just had a really interesting conversation with my sister about this and how generations before ours like sort of peaked in high school. Like that was the time when you really cared about pop culture, what is, you know, current, what is cool, all that kind of shit. And then right after that, you would get the job, you'd start the family, you'd buy the house, you know. Our generation was not taught that. We were taught like, no, you guys are going to be young for a little longer. You're going to go to college. And then like in your mid to late 20s, that's when you're really going to be adults. And then that didn't happen. Like instead of that happening, we got poverty wages and a housing market that just like isn't even accessible, because we're also the first generation to be like internet experts. Because
Wait, how old is this guy? Don't tell me this guy's like 30. How old is this guy? Is he actually 35? This guy's older than me? No shot. He looks younger than me.
Because we grew up with it, you know. Instead, we're like, all right, I guess we'll just go on our phones and escape from this fucking dystopia that we live in. And so because we haven't really progressed that much in life in the way that like you're supposed to, we're just kind of doing the same things that Gen Z is doing. And we're paying attention to all of the same shit that Gen Z is paying attention to. Historically, people in their 30s and 40s are supposed to be boring schlubs that don't know anything about pop culture and are like, what are the kids listening to these days, huh? And instead we're like live streaming us playing Fortnite on Twitch. Like it's just, it is a different world.
Okay, bro, chill. What the fuck? Why is he coming for me like this? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with. I feel attacked by this. Why are you co-opting Gen Z culture? Whatever. Chin liposuction soars among Gen Z. Internet is super fucking brutal.
To go from looking like this to that. Her jawline said snatched. My double chin has always been my biggest insecurity, so I've tried literally everything, and I'm gonna tell you what not to waste your money on and what to spend your money on. I started off trying warm sculpting and cool sculpting. Both were a total waste of money and time. Don't bother, you'll be broke and disappointed.
Is that millennial exclamation points? Is that a millennial ass comment? First of all, I don't give a fuck, okay? I just want to point something out, okay? I don't care. I'm old. Do you understand? I'm old. I know I'm old. Let me fucking live. Okay? My skivvy is not your prom dress? Yes. Yeah. I'm a grandpa. I'm 32. I'm basically
Then
dead.
I tried Kybella, which was, you do see, I would say 10 to 15% improvement, but it's thousands of.
What is this? I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it anymore, and what's it seems weird and scary. It'll happen to you. I mean, true. I don't get it. I don't get it. I am officially old, okay? That I do know. Like I'm not old. I'm the youngest old person right now. What do I mean by this? Like I'm well into my adulthood at this moment, okay? I'm 32 years old, and like up until I was like 28, I knew exactly what the fuck was popping, okay? I knew what was going on. I could keep up with trends. I was aware of what was cool. And now, sometimes I catch myself thinking, like, when I see like the Andrew Tate phenomena or the Aiden Ross W community on God for real shit, I'm like, and I immediately feel like, man, these kids are fucked up. And then I stop and take a deep breath and think to myself, like, Is that just the new meta? Is that just normal to them? Is that the new culture? Am I in the wrong? Okay. Am I in the wrong for feeling like these little shits are over the top reactionary for no fucking reason? Because I do feel like the generation very quickly overcorrected after the Trump era. Under the Trump era, the kids were all woke, okay? And they were too woke. Like, if you recall, I used to yell at Minecrafters all the time about like dialing it back. But ultimately, I was like, I feel confident. I feel happy that there's like a group of individuals that are like so over the top, woke and open-minded, and that's a good thing. But if you remember, even back then, the Minecraft standum, I thought was maybe a little too I thought maybe the Minecraft standum is a little too much in the leftist direction, I guess. A little too woke, if you will, even though I thought it was a good thing, because like when I was growing up around, when I was in my early 20s, for example, it was like all Nazi shit, like straight up. Everything was Nazi shit. And yeah, I'm sure it was like performative, but I'd rather have the performative radical liberalism, instead of the performative radical fascism, right? And then what happened? Since the Trump era ended and the Brandon era came back, I feel like the generation was inundated with like a lot of the Andrew Tate style toxic misogyny, like genuine fears of the other. Like the way this is always going to be reductive, but the way I define it is like, it became like very, red pill became much more normalized. It went from people being like super woke to super anti-woke, and very quickly. And I do worry about it a little bit, and I can't tell if it's just like a trend or if people are just genuinely permanently brain broken. Bro, those rad libs became NATO stands. Yeah. That part, even that is a testament to like people becoming more reactionary though.
Does anybody want to work anymore?
Here's the real reason.
A misunderstood generation. Okay, I don't want to hear about fucking this stuff. But I don't think so. That's just being online. Being on the ground as a generation is not like that. It was just the kids who were always against the Minecraft stands became louder. You're doing what the Gen X is, the millennials. I like to think I'm open-minded as a content creator who serves a community of ages that vary from 18 all the way to 35, even older. So I'm I have audience members that are Gen Z, and I have audience members that are millennials. So I do feel like I'm definitely more open-minded to the cultural phenomena of Gen Z. So yeah. I mean, there's a lot of older people. There's like, okay, maybe even way older than 35. There's like people up to 50s now. I think you got a much older audience, less young, says Poolistan. Yeah, I don't think my audience is. The thing is, when I started this, I think my audience was much younger. A lot of them grew old. Remember, 28 until now. Yeah, there's like a lot of people just like myself went from 2018 into 2024 at this point. So that's 6 years. If you were 20, you're 26 now, you know? So Gen Z doesn't really give a fuck about politics, or at least has it encapsulate their entire personality. I think the actual answer is that a Zoomer spend a lot of time around millennials, especially anonymized online, in a way that they learn to act and mimic the behavior styles of older people. Maybe. You're too removed from Gen Z. Gen Z is overly thoughtful. I mean, yeah, I don't know anyone that's like Gen Z around me. I don't know what overly thoughtful means. But yeah, I don't. What is the cutoff for Gen Z? What's in the middle of Gen Z age? Popularity 2006, 2010. Primary audience born late 90s, early 2000s. Oh yeah, Todrick is Gen Z. But Todrick is not normal. Todrick is like I don't think Todrick is tapped in to Gen Z culture. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm mistaking Gen Z culture as like core Gen Z culture, primary audience born late 2000s, Young Justice. What is this? Primary audience born late 90s, early 2000s, PSP. I mean, what is this? Angry Birds, Adventure Time, regular show, Pokemon, Star Wars, dabbing, Frozen. Yeah, I'm in the late millennial culture era. Born early, mid, late 90s. Like, I did not have a PlayStation 1. I didn't have any of this stuff. But I do remember The Matrix out of here. The only thing that's like age adjusted to me is The Matrix in this situation, even though I was born in 1991, and I guess Space Jam as well. But beyond that, I mean, I guess there's shared experiences here. SpongeBob for sure, Dragon Ball, Star Wars. I did have the yellow Game Boy, Samurai Jack. Didn't play RuneScape? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I also was growing up in Turkey, but I did have this Avatar: The Last Airbender, 100%. Very important. And then you get into early Gen Z culture. Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox, PSP still. Oof, that was the best. PSP was my shit. So maybe that's why it's like Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of the best cartoons of all time. Yes, I mean straight up, nothing touches that. And then you get to the primary audience, born late, early. I mean, I don't know. This is like not good. Gen Z statistics on the cusp of adulthood and facing an uncertain future. What we know about the Gen Z so far. 1 in 10 eligible voters in 2020 electorate will be a part of the new generation of Americans, Gen Z. Born after 1996, most members of the generation are not yet old enough to vote, but as the oldest among them turn 23 this year, roughly 24 million will have an opportunity. Wait, the oldest Gen Z are 23? So, no, Todrick's not Gen Z then. Todrick is, I think, 24. So Todrick's not even Gen Z. Oh, wait, this is an old article. Oh, this is from 2020. Never mind. You're right. Yeah. This is from 2020. So, holy fuck, they're 27. Oldest Gen Z is 27 now. Y'all are old, man. Y'all are old. Gen Zers, you old motherfuckers, unlike millennials who came at the age of during the Great Recession, yes, new generation is in line to inherit a strong economy with record low unemployment. That has changed now as COVID-19 has reshaped the country's social, political, and economic landscape. There are already signs that the oldest Gen Zers have been particularly hard hit in the early weeks and months of the coronavirus. Bro, this is like right in the middle of coronavirus. I want to see something like this now. You know what I mean? 1 in 4 members of Gen Z are Hispanic. 52% of Gen Zers are white. 14% of Gen Zers are black. 6% of Gen Zers are Asian. Gen Z is slightly less likely than millennials to be immigrants. 6% are born outside the U.S., but they're more likely to be children of immigrants. Gen Z on the track to be the best educated generation yet. Less likely to drop out of high school, more likely to be enrolled in college. These changing educational patterns are tied to changes in immigration, especially among Hispanics. Gen Z Hispanics are less likely than millennial Hispanics to be immigrants, and previous research has shown the second generation Hispanic users are less likely to drop out of high school. Many members of Gen Z are more likely than older generation to look to government to solve problems rather than business and individuals. Fully 7 in 10 Gen Zers say the government should be able to solve many more problems. That's good. Younger generation more likely than their older counterparts say the earth is getting warmer due to human activity. 54% of Gen Z and 56% of millennials say this compared to smaller shares of Gen Xers and boomers. Gen Zers and millennials are equally likely to say that blacks are treated less fairly than whites in this country. Roughly 2/3 of Gen Zers and millennials say this compared to roughly about half of Gen Xers and boomers. Younger generations also share a different view of the U.S. relative to other countries in the world. Gen Zers and millennials are less likely than Gen Xers and are silenced to say the U.S. is still better than all of the other countries. What? Only 14% of Gen Zers and 13% of millennials say that the U.S. is better than all the other countries? Are you fucking kidding me? On my Twitter, it's like 100% of people on my Twitter timeline are saying that America is better than every other country. What the fuck? Yeah, I feel like this is... I do have the feeling you conflate Alpha with Z without realizing it. They are more the target for the Andrew Tate shit. Yeah, I do think so. I think like a big chunk of my audience is like older millennials all the way to like Gen Z. And I think I'm probably looking at Gen Alpha and like not realizing that I'm like, what would be Gen Alpha? What would be the older? No, you are a hater magnet. That too. What would be Gen Alpha? Who's Gen Alpha? Like how old? Gen Alpha is like 14. Okay, so 14 and under. Nah. I don't think it's Gen Alpha then. It's like younger Gen Z. Younger Gen Z and older Gen Alpha, I think. The skibbity toilet generation. They were born when they were born. Gen Alpha was born when I graduated from college. I thought the term millennials for Gen Z, Y, and X. No. Skibbity toilet generation. Yeah, I mean, this was like a thing. This was a huge poppin' thing. Millennials killed this. Millennials killed that. That was the huge thing. Napkins, formal dress codes, casual dining restaurants, large homes, traditional marriage, divorce, pricey engagement rings, dinner dates, traditional hotels, big box gyms, mayonnaise, American cheese, cans of tuna, bar soap, wine corks, motorcycles, fabric softener, doorbells, razors, breakfast cereal. Gen Z, millennials were also known as like the avocado toast generation because we were spending too much money on avocado toast. Gen Z and the transformation of American adolescence. This is from the American Enterprise Institute, man. Like, I don't know if this is going to be good. I had an 8th grader tell me this glizzy can fit her gyat, shaking my head. Most Gen Zers mostly use TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. Fuck, we need Twitter for. Yeah, I think Twitter is definitely weird. Like, as far as all the social media platforms goes, I think Twitter is not as like used. I think a lot of Gen Zers use, I would say a lot of Gen Zers use TikTok and YouTube. I've noticed that Gen Alpha forces themselves to get into Twitch. It's like a thing, like a TV show. They will say shit like, I tried getting into XQC, it was boring and shit like that. Yeah, they're 14. I think, like, I mean, I don't know. Is like Casio and the other guy, like, are they, what's their audience like? Because these guys just blew up on TikTok and then brought their audience over here. And you can tell, like, their audience is not like a fucking, their audience is literally like a normie audience. Look at this. They don't use any emotes at all. Like, they use no emotes. This man's got 63,000 motherfuckers watching him and not a single emote in the chat. Okay? And the same goes for Jinxie too. I didn't even know who these guys were. Their audience chats like boomers on Twitch. Yeah, and I think it's because like they are a primarily TikTok audience. They're a primarily TikTok audience that is now watching these guys on Twitch because he's just live on Twitch. That's it. I'm Gen Z and I know 0 people who go on X. This guy's so fucking viral on TikTok. Yeah. I didn't know. I did not know that that was the thing. But looking at Twitch, generationally looking at Twitch, I will say this much. I mean, look, what is this? What? Like, there's one. I saw one Twitch hype train emote being used in the chat. And then I guess like one good aim emote. So, like, no BTTV, I assume. So what I'm saying is, right now on Twitch, the biggest content creators on Twitch right now, this new wave of content creators, are all TikTok guys. Okay? Right now, they're not really live. There's no one really live right now, so it doesn't count. But if you look at who's live at like peak, like Jinxie, okay, how come they're watching a 40-year-old Casio? I don't know how old Casio is, but the biggest content creators are what? HasanAbi, this guy is Case O. Yeah, the biggest content creators are HasanAbi, this guy, and Jinxie. All 3 of them pop off on TikTok. Do you think the TikTok algorithm is the biggest factor? Yes, 100%. Don't Kai's chat use emotes though? I think Kai's chat started using emotes because Kai's been on the platform for a while. And once he started really popping on the platform, he like picked up a lot of like the Twitch viewers and stuff. And then the culture, and then I would say that the culture started shaping around it. Gen Alpha are like boomers in a way. They don't know how to use emotes and really watch Twitch unless it's their fave. Yeah. Yeah, I think Kai's chat uses emotes now because a lot of XQC's fans go over there and watch him. I think that's probably what it is too. Seeing variety gaming popular is nice to see. Yeah, no, 100%. This is the content that gets KCO viral.
Where's the phone?
Like, I have no way what this means. POV, you're chilling and randomly think about Casio. 2.5 million likes. I have no fucking idea what this means.
Where's the phone?
Like, what is that? Oh, because he's fat? That's it? Oh my God, this video killed me. He's so fat, he made his brain heavier. Like 90% of the jokes about KCO are about him being fat. I don't know. I'm too old to get this shit. Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. Why are we yucking yums in the new year? No. I'm not. I'm not at all. No. I'm not even remotely yucking anybody's yum here. Listen, dude, I have respect for a dude who's just sitting there playing fucking game called Peaks of Yore with 65,000 motherfuckers watching. And they go in and out too. Like that's crazy. Okay. This dude is like a fucking phenomena. And the same goes for Jinxie too. He did like a PO box and he had like 90,000 people watching him. That kind of stuff is good. I mean, it's like TikToks thrive on funny moments and ongoing jokes. Twitch streams love ongoing jokes and make a lot of funny moments throughout the day. They're a match made in heaven. Yeah. I think yeah, they just like blow up on who's Jinxie. Jinxie is another content creator who was like I mean, he just played Rainbow Six for years and years, just like Kai played like 2K and stuff like that. And then they just blew up on TikTok. And then they very quickly were able to like move their audience from TikTok to Twitch. But yeah, no, it's like, it's crazy. This guy's been trying to sell me billboard advertisements